Well, hello there, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when I find you and whereabouts in the world you are. And happy Burns Night if you're deciding to celebrate or if you're in this country. But even, even if you're not, this is fantastic. It's so tasty. And we would always have haggis, neeps, and tatties around about Burns Night. Not typically on Burns Night, but around about Burns Night. And this is just a different way of having your haggis. So all I've done is made up a wee mushroom duxelle and then wrapped it in pastry. So it's a kind of Haggis Wellington, if you like, and it's so easy to make and delicious. So I've got some onions, optional mustard. I ended up not using that, and I'll explain when we get there. I've got some mushrooms, some garlic, that's the haggis there, obviously. I've got an egg, which I'm going to beat, puff pastry, some butter for frying, and that's it. Really, really simple. This is the haggis that I used here, but if you wanted to keep it vegetarian, you can buy vegetarian haggis as well, and it's just as lovely because I have tried it. And this is the puff pastry I'm using here. This is just from Lidl, and then I've got some chestnut mushrooms and some button mushrooms as well, and I've just sliced up one medium onion and a couple of garlic cloves, but those are optional as well. If you don't like garlic, don't use it. So you can either do this by hand. I'm using my food processor because you do want these as small and fine as you can get them, and the food processor just makes light work of this kind of thing. So pop in your mushrooms, and once you're at a paste, pop in the garlic and the onion, and you want everything nice and smooth, and like I said, as small as you can get it. But you can do this by hand, of course. It'll just take you a wee bit longer. So go over to your cooker. You want a kind of medium heat, a large frying pan. Pop in your butter, and you want to get that nicely melted, and then we're going to add in the mushroom mixture. Now there's quite a lot of water in this, as you can see. Mushrooms have got tons of water in them. We're going to add a wee bit of sage and rosemary as well. Like I said, a ton of water in mushrooms, so you want to get rid of this water. A wee touch of salt and pepper as well, and the salt will help draw out the moisture from your mushrooms as well, so that's super handy. So just keep cooking this on a medium heat until it turns from a sloppy mess into a kind of spreadable paste, and you will see that happen. It happens quite quickly, probably take you about 5 minutes to do it properly. You'll just see it, getting drier and getting drier, and the water evaporating out. I just switched on the light there because you couldn't really see it very clearly. But yeah, just keep going until your water is all but gone. And as you can see, that is ideal. Now, you don't want it bone dry because you still want it spreadable, because we're going to spread this onto the pastry. Once you're happy, just turn off the heat and let that cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't want it going onto your pastry, boiling hot. So that's ideal. So just pop that to the side. And then you can turn your attention to your pastry. Like I said, I'm just using Lidl puff pastry. It's super simple to use. I hate making pastry, and I'm rubbish at making pastry, but if you're good at making pastry, use your own, obviously, because it is a wee bit better. But I love these just for convenience. So pop your mushroom mix on top. You want a nice sort of thin, even layer, but leave a gap round about the edge or a border. And we're just going to pop the haggis straight into the middle. You don't need to cook this before or break it up or anything like that. It's actually really handy that it's in this shape because it makes rolling the pastry up so easy. So just grab your pastry and then roll the whole thing up into a big sort of log shape. Keep going till you're just about at the end. Then grab your egg, give it a light beat, and you just want to grab a pastry brush and pop your egg onto all of the exposed pastry area. And then you're just going to roll the whole thing up, and that's going to seal it really nicely. So roll the whole thing up, and then you've got 2 wee flappy ends. So go in again with your egg wash, squash this down nice and flat, and then just tuck it under. You do want the ends nice and flat so that your pastry does cook and it's not too thick. So just pop that under. And then with your hands, just go around the whole thing and sort of mould and shape it into a nice kind of shape so there's not too much poking out and it's a wee bit more uniform. And I was happy with this. Then once you're happy, just whack it into your fridge for about half an hour just to get nice and chilled, and let it relax for about half an hour. A wee bit longer if you want, but it doesn't really need any longer than half an hour. And doesn't it look fab? It looks like a kind of futuristic car. So yeah, this is the kind of shape that you want. Once it's had its half an hour in the fridge, get it out and use the remainder of your beaten egg all over. Just give it a nice even coating all over. Then we're going to pop it onto an oven tray lined with non-stick baking paper. I gave this another wee brush just to use up the egg that I had. Now you want to score the top just to let the steam escape so that it doesn't all bubble up inside. And I just done a wee sort of leaf design on the top, or chevron design on the top, but you can do whatever you like. A couple of lines is absolutely fine. Now you want to put this into the middle of your oven, not too high up your oven because your pastry might burn, and you do want this to cook through nicely. Give it between 40 and 50 minutes, and that is your temperature there. And if you find that your pastry is browning too quickly, you can cover the whole thing in foil, you know, and that'll stop it browning any further. In fact, I done that about 20 minutes in. I just put some foil over the top because you don't want your pastry burnt and your haggis not cooked in the inside. And then let this sit for about 5 minutes, and then you can slice it into whatever size slices you like. And I was really happy with this, and this will feed, as you can see, between 4 and 5 people, depending on how big your slices are and how hungry and how greedy you are. In fact, I might just do 2 of you, depending on how hungry you are. So just slice this up, and then you can obviously have this on its own if you like. We had this for our tea, so of course I've got to crack out the mashed potato and mashed swede. It's becoming a bit of a joke. The swede has now replaced the broccoli in my, you know, thing I have with all of the dinners. So anyway, so some mashed potato, some nice creamy mashed potato, a slice of that Haggis Wellington, some buttered mashed swede, and then I think a sauce complements this kind of thing. So any creamy sauce you like. This was a creamy peppercorn sauce, but you can do a whisky sauce, or, you know, any kind of sauce you like, just as long as it's nice and creamy. And that was it there, and it was delicious. So do let me know if you're going to give that one a go. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here as well. I do need to update those lists again, and I will do that in the next couple of days because there are some of you who have come on board. So thank you so much for your ongoing support, and thank you all for watching and leaving your lovely comments, and for those who share the videos. It's all very much appreciated. And a wee clip of Jasper is coming in the next video because so many of you have asked to see him, and Sonia as well has been in contact to claim her box, so that will be on the way either today or tomorrow. I was planning on getting it sent today, but something's come up, so it'll either be today or tomorrow, Sonia, so that will be on the way to you. And if you're not following me on Instagram yet, I'm What's for Tea 3 over there, and it would be lovely to see you again. So I'm going to go off now and wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with my wee biscuit baron unboxing for this month, and then back on Friday with my wee shopping haul. We might be going to Aldi this time just for a wee change, and then I'll be back on Sunday at 6 for meals of the week. So whenever you join me again, or whenever I see you again, remember, have a brilliant rest of your day, and I'll see you off as soon back here on What's for Tea. Bye now.